Hey man, I'm telling you, you got to get out of these cities right now. Everything's gonna go haywire. Everything's gonna go crazy. The grid is gonna go down. Get out of the cities. I'm telling you. Fam, Dre over here at Set Apart Gardens. Hope everybody's having a great, wonderful day. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I fell for a lot of the hype too. I ain't even gonna say hype, but I'm gonna just say the fear-mongering. And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason I'm making this video today is not to paint like everything is gonna be okay, kumbaya, all that type of stuff. Nothing's ever gonna go wrong. But what I am trying to bring awareness to is that fear sells, but fear also clouds judgment. When you're constantly in a state of fear and you're just watching things that are perpetuating that and allowing you to be in a fearful state and an emotional state, it's gonna cloud your judgment and you're gonna make bad decisions. So let's talk about it for a little while. Let's talk about it. So this is my problem with fear-based messaging. Fear-based messaging, like I said, it gets people up in a frenzy and it sells. For instance, when we had the pandemic, right, they were telling everybody, hey, go and buy toilet tissue, go and buy this, go and buy that. So you got people in the stores that are all in a frenzy and everybody's buying up the toilet tissue, but nobody's buying the food. You see what I'm saying? Not like that. Now, yeah, you have people buying food, but the shelves were empty. Toilet paper was in hand sanitizer. You couldn't find it. But it's like, that's the problem with fear-based messaging, is that it gets people irrational, because a rational person would have said, well, hold on. They're telling us to get toilet paper. I don't need toilet paper to survive, but I need food, I need water, I need shelter. I should be focused on those things instead of toilet tissue. But people weren't thinking. They were just being driven by fear. And that's my problem with it. When it comes to this homesteading off-grid life, it shouldn't be fear-based. It should be more so of a faith-based thing. It should be more so of a holistic, wanting to live a life with a deeper meaning and a deeper purpose. Now, am I saying that doesn't mean that we don't prep? No, absolutely. You want to always prep for a rainy day. You want to always have life skills. You want to always be able to provide your food and everything. But the driving force shouldn't be fear. It should be faith. It should be purpose. Another thing is this: homesteading shouldn't be about disconnecting from society totally. It should just be about making your lifestyle better. It shouldn't be about, man, I want to go off grid, get away from everybody. Everybody's crazy, this, that, and the third. Yes, there are crazy people in the world. Yes, there's this, but there's also good people in the world. There's also good things in the world that we can utilize. You know, there's also needs that you're going to have even when you get off grid. You know what I'm saying? So you can survive day to day. But when we look at when we look at it from an extreme type of lens, we end up over our heads when we get into this lifestyle, because you done bought land that wasn't even good, suitable land. I did a video on what things to consider when buying land. I'm gonna leave it up here. But you done bought too much land, or you done bought land that's too far out, or land that you don't have certain rights on, or just too much to handle. You know, different things that come with it. You're gonna have to build from the ground up. You know, quit your job. But you done got in way over your head, and now, when you don't see the things that people have said is gonna happen like they said it was gonna happen, now you just looking at it like, man, I messed up. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. You see what I'm saying? I should have approached it with the plan. I shouldn't have approached it with fear. I should have been logical in my thinking. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You know what kills more people when it comes to people drowning? It's not the fact that, they caught up in, waves and riptides and things like that. It's people who panic. People who panic die the most when it comes to drowning, because this is the thing. I remember when I was in school, I had a math teacher. He taught me this. Well, he taught the class this lesson rather. He said, if you're ever at the beach and you get caught in a riptide or a tide, he said, calm down, let the tide take you out, and then it's gonna bring you all the way back around. But don't try to fight against the tide, because you're going to tire yourself out and then you're going to drown. He said, just ride it out, try to scream for help, but tread the water, go with the water, and don't fight against it, because when you fight against it, you're going to tire yourself out and die. So when you panic, and I'm just saying we can apply that to all areas of life. When you panic is going to lead you to destruction. it's gonna lead you to destruction, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna lead you to you being overwhelmed. It's gonna lead you to just a lot of negative things that you do not want. So do not panic when you're talking about you want to live a holistic lifestyle, you want to live off grid, you want to live off the land. Approach it logically, approach it with a plan, approach it with a strategy, and approach it with purpose, not fear. And look, I'm gonna say this. Everybody don't need to leave the city. Like let's just keep it honest. Everybody don't need to leave the city. Do I encourage as many people as I can to prepare and leave the city? Absolutely, especially if you know you're called to live this lifestyle. But there is a more balanced approach people can take, right? For instance, if you live in the city or the suburbs and you have a nice sized backyard, start growing food in your backyard right now. Start, you know, try to keep a few chickens right now. Try to start a garden right now. Do small things right now to learn life skills and different things like that. But also network with farmers, network with homesteaders. Create different avenues of networking where you can barter, where you can trade, where you can go buy fresh food, and where you can learn the skills. So if you know, God forbid, the grid goes down, something bad happens, you'll have the skills, but you'll also have the resources and the networking contacts that you've created over time. But it's about taking a balanced approach, understanding what's going to be important in the event that something bad does happen. In the event something bad does happen, what are you going to need? You're going to need resources. You're going to need food, water, shelter. Learn how to provide those things for yourself right now, even if it's on a small scale, because as long as you have some knowledge of how to do it, you'll be able to survive, especially when you connect with like-minded people who also have those skills as well. So I'm just saying, we have to approach everything with common sense. Common sense is something that's lacking because this internet, everything is extreme. Well, most things are extreme. I ain't gonna say everything, but the things that are usually popular are extreme. So what I'm trying to tell you is take a step back from the extremism, approach it with common sense, approach it with a balanced mentality, and you will, I'm telling you, you will have success. You will have the success that you need, because a lot of times people tell you, oh man, go buy this, go buy that. You know, because I used to be real big into prepping, and I still am into prepping to a certain extent, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. I always encourage that. However, when it's the extreme prepping, like, oh man, you know, go and get these MREs, go and buy all these. Now I got a few MREs, I got a few boxes of MREs, I got seeds, I got books, I got all this type of stuff. I got guns, as you can see. I got weapons too. But this is the thing. What a lot of people don't realize is that you can prep all this stuff, and all it takes is for a hurricane or a tornado to come through, and now your whole house ripped to shreds, and now you got to start from ground zero. Or, you know, you got all these canned goods, but they eventually expire. Or, you know what I'm saying, you got all these cases of water or whatever the case may be, and now, you know, you done got an infestation of rats or something like that. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people think they could just hoard up as much stuff as they can and they'll be all right. What they don't realize is that it can be stolen, it can be destroyed, it can be compromised, it can be tampered with, as long as, you know, you're storing it up. All of those things can happen. But you know what else can happen? Let's say none of that happens, you know, and it's a Mayday, things go crazy or whatever the case may be. When you start tapping into those resources, they're only going to deplete, and eventually you're going to have nothing left. And if you haven't taken the time to develop the skills that you needed to survive, then you're going to be like everybody else. Even though it might be a prolonged time before you get there, if you don't have a way to continuously provide for yourself and continuously, you know, know how to harvest water or filter water or grow your food or have seeds or have some livestock or whatever that, you know what I'm saying, that can multiply over time. If you don't have that, then you're going to be like everybody else. But I'm just saying all of this to say this. Well, I'm saying all of that to say this. Let's approach it with common sense. Let's stop looking at things in a fearful lens. And instead of being in fear, how about prepare? How about prepare for the unknown? That's something that we should all do regardless of whatever could happen in the future, because we never know what could happen in the future. We don't know if, you know, another pandemic can come. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's going to be the grid that goes down, but it might be another pandemic, or it might be nothing at all. We don't know what it will be. You know what I'm saying? It could be civil war, it could be all kind of stuff, but at the same time, it could be nothing as well. But it's always good to have those skills, no matter what the case is, no matter what's going to happen in the future, because you know how to take care of you. If you want, if you like this type of content, first off, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. But if you want to learn self-sufficiency, if you want to you know, gain those skills, man, subscribe to the channel. Also, we got a community, live community. We just took it live, or whatever the case may be, where we have like-minded individuals that are coming together. Whoever subscribes to this community, you know, where we'll be learning from each other these things in detail. You know, it won't just be a 5-minute video, 10-minute video here, or whatever the case may be. No, we're actually going to have real genuine conversations, interactions, and stuff like that. I'll leave a link for that below. It's called our Set Apart Tribe. But yeah, man, just have common sense. Yes, you want to get out the city. I understand that. A lot of people do. You want to live off the land, but approach it with common sense. Don't fall into the fear-mongering. You will be okay as long as you have the Most High God with you. Know that first and foremost. But yeah, like I always say, man, he who has the power to feed you also has the power to starve you. See y'all in the next video.
3, 4. Bombs over Baghdad. Really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS. Little haven from the tax.